All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give our praise, honor, glory to Yahawah,
Yahawah,
BAHASHAM,
BAHASHAM,
YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM,
YAHAWASHI,
QADASH.
BAHASHAM, QADASH.
Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. And the elect begins with the 144,000. Yahawah, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jehovah. BAHASHAM is the name. YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. The RAWCHAA, Dr. Church, the Holy Spirit. I'm the brother YAHAWAH. You're joined with
Brother AHPARYAM.
come back at you, brothers and sisters of the household of faith, up the hopeful righteous elect with another lesson. And Lord, when we hope this quick lesson is edifying, really talking about spiritual powers and new bodies, which Yahawah is going to give the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, man. Especially in these end times, man, when Esau comes down heavy, man, the Lord is going to bestow some of his men spiritual powers, man. And just to land back real quick, this is the book of Isaiah 59 and 19. And it reads, so shall they fear the name of Yahawah from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord Yahawah shall lift up the standard against them. And what is that standard, man? Hey, that protection from Yahawah Shemel. Some men is going to be granted spiritual powers. Hey, the angel is going to be, watching, hey, for his elect men, man. But ultimately, what the Lord is going to bestow, what are those gifts? Is what the Lord Yahawah Shemel is going to bestow his men spiritual power. Hey, when Esau come down, with that, ultimately it's the Revelations 12 and 12 say, coming in like a great flood. I said like a great flood, but coming in, knowing that he had but a short time, but ultimately coming in to try to pursue, the nation of Israel, starting with the elect.
That's right. And when you go into that Hebrew word for the standard, to lift up a standard, it's nawas, which is going into to flee, to escape, but also to take flight, disappear, to fly, right? To take flight, to vanish away.
Hey, Abaya, real quick, it is kind of hard to hear you just a little bit.
Salakia, bro, is that any better?
Still kind of low.
I'm gonna rejoin, Lord willing.
All right, Khan. While you rejoin, I'm gonna just add some more precepts to the lesson.
Khan, I'll be right back.
All right. As his brother was going into, he was going into the word standard, man. But ultimately, man? The Lord is going to grant his men, spiritual powers, man. Hey, new bodies, that's a part of it. When the Lord ultimately, when the Lord Yahawah sent his son Yahawah back to ultimately what? To deliver, the elect. The Lord is going to what? Give those men, new bodies. And that's a part of it also. Let me grab this real quick. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Right? Esau, Edom, us teaching this word, man, they haven't made no account of our labors, man. The children of Israel, the great things that we have did for the society, man, is basically pushed under the rug. It says, verse 2, it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and they shall be amazed with the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Because often when those chariots come to deliver us, man, hey, it's going to be strange to the rest of the world, man, because the rest of the world, hey, it's going to be foreign to them, man, because they ain't never going to see anything like the deliverance that's coming for us, man. Hey, the day the chariots fill the sky up, man, hey, the delivering the elect, man, the 144,000 and the 1/3. It says, verse 3, and they repenting and groaning and anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, a proverb and a reproach. Right. They're going to be, witnessing, the elect getting beamed up in those chariots, man, because even 1 Corinthians says that, man, in the twinkling of an eye. Let's grab that real quick. I believe that's 1 Corinthians 15. And this is what we're patiently waiting for, man, to ultimately get those new bodies. Because what with those new bodies, man, we're not going to sin anymore. Hey, we're going to keep the law perfect 100%. So, hey, you know what? The Lord, had something special in store for us, man. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians 15. And I'm going to start at 50. It says, now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahawah, neither does corruption inherit incorruption. Right? We're not going to take this, corruptible body, onto the chariot and into the kingdom, man. We'll have to be changed. And it's going to go into that. It says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. All right, how shall we all be changed, man? Ultimately, what? When we get bent up in those chariots, we're going to be changed in the twinkling of an eye. Hey, First Corinthians going to say that. The 15th chapter says, hey, that's actually the next verse, verse 52. It says, in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, and at the last trump, it says, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Right, in an instant, man, we're going to be changed. As I read in that Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, man. The strangers of our salvation, man, because what? When those chariots beam up, being a light upon us, man, and we go up into those chariots, man, we're going to be changed instantly, man. We're going to have spiritual powers. All that is a part of that, man. And that actually goes into what? The new covenant also. Us being changed, us being perfected, us not sinning anymore. It says, verse 53, it says, for this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal. Hey, Shalom, Mark.
Shalom, Mark. Salakia about that.
No, it's all good. It's all good, brother. But I was reading this 1 Corinthians 15th chapter. It says, back in verse 54, it says 1 Corinthians 15 and 54. It says, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Meaning what? We're not going to die anymore, man, with these new bodies, man. And we're not going to perish anymore, man. We're going to live forever and ever. I bought it. You ain't had nothing now. You can grab that. I believe it's Revelations 21 and 4.
Okay. Grab that. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21. I'll just start at the top.
Yeah, BAHASHAM.
Con, it says, Revelation 21 and 1, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
Right, it says and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, man. Hey, under Esau's rulership right now, man. This is the the first heaven and the first earth, man. We're under Esau's rulership right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you can continue in that verse 1.
Con, and just to make the quick point, that doesn't mean that it's going to be an entirely new earth. It just means it's going to be refreshed.
Yep, refresh. Yep.
Such as a new moon. That's not actually a different moon. It's just refreshed. But it says in verse 2, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from YAHAWADAH out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Right, that's the elect coming from back down off those chariots, man, after being delivered, man. Hey, the elect is going to be in their perfect bodies, their new bodies with the spiritual power, man. That's the elect coming down from that chariot.
That's right. Because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place,
Yep.
So that's New Jerusalem coming down from heaven, like the brother just said, the elect coming down in the glorified bodies. And it says in verse 3, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh himself shall be with them and be their power.
Right, because ultimately in times past, we was ultimately disconnected from our power because we ultimately sinned against him. But since we're going to be in that perfected state, man, we're always going to be with YAHAWASHI, man, because we're not going to sin and we're not going to go off. And YAHAWASHI is not going to cut us off, man, because what? We're going to be perfected.
That's right. And then it says here in verse 4, and YAHAWASHI shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Right, because ultimately what? We're going to live forever, man. As I read in that 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, man, death is swallowed up in victory. We're going to live forever, man. We're not going to go through any more pain. We don't have to worry about losing a family member or losing a brother, man. Because ultimately what? We're going to live forever, man. And that's a part of the new covenant also, man. Us, being perfected, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments 100%, having those spiritual powers and having those new bodies, man. That goes along with what? In the new covenant, man.
Khan.
You had something, brother?
I had that 1 Thessalonians, the 4th chapter.
Khan.
And starting at the 13th verse, it says, "But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope." It says, "For if we believe that Yahawashi died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahawashi will Yahweh bring with him."
Yep.
It says, "For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep." It says, "For the Lord shall descend from heaven with a shout, and with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahweh, and the dead in Mashach shall rise first." So
yep. Ultimately the individuals that died in the faith, man, they're going to be the first ones risen. The ones that, died believing, Yahweh Shah, that died in this truth, that were believers, man, they're going to rise first.
Khan, it says in verse 17, "Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so we shall ever be with the Lord."
Yep. We shall ever be with the Lord, man. And that's what's coming, for the hopeful righteous elect, starting with the hopeful righteous elect, man, of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Being joint heirs with Yahweh Shah. That's what we're patiently waiting on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual powers, new bodies. Can I back you up real quick, brother?
BAHASHAM.
This is the book of Zechariah 12:8, and it reads, Zechariah 12:8 says, "In that day shall Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as Yahweh, as the angel of Yahweh before them." Right? Because we know David to be a mighty warrior, man. He slayed his tens of thousands in his day, man. And the weakest amongst us in this generation, man. Hey, we're gonna be as David, And David was fucking those heathens up, man. Hey, Goliath, things of that nature, man. We're gonna be mighty warriors. The Lord is gonna raise up his men to be mighty warriors, man.
That's right. It's I could back you up.
Oh, sure.
Right here it says Psalms 110:3. It says, "Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. In the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth." All right, so it says thy people will be willing in the day of thy power. So like the brother had read earlier in the lesson, when Jacob's trouble is full force, the Lord's going to have to give his men spiritual power, to raise up that standard. It says thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. It's going to be very clear and evident who Yahweh is dealing with. It's going to be beyond clear, and that's when we're the hopeful elect is going to be the leaders, man, who everyone is going to follow. Isaiah 4:1, 7 women will take hold on to one man. It says that he will make a man more precious than the fine gold. You see, he will make a man a covering. All these things, man, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that we be those men.
Lord willing, brother. I got something to back you up. This is the book of Isaiah 40. And let me see where I'm gonna start at. I'm gonna start at 29. It says, "He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength." Right? Because ultimately Yahweh Shema Shah is gonna give us that strength in that day. In these bodies, man, we can't do anything, man. Hey, we're young men, Me and a brother that's that's doing this lesson right now, man. We're young men, and we feel like we're old men, man. But ultimately the Lord is coming, to increase us in strength, man. It says, verse 30, it says, "Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young man shall utterly fall." Right? Young men having back pains, body problems at a young age, man. And it all goes back to these corruptible bodies, man. And to even add upon that, man, the foods that we eat in this society, the elements, these bodies are subjected to, man. But here's the point. Verse 31, it says, "But they that wait upon Yahweh shall renew their strength. They They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Hey, if you ever seen anything like Marvel, DC, read any comic books, you watch series like Dragon Ball Z, of people, running super fast, flying up in the air, hey, shooting laser beams out the eyes, man. Hey, they get those from the scriptures, man. That's how they ultimately make these different TV shows, write these different comic books. They ultimately get their inspiration from the scriptures, man. You know? And this is what, the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, is going to be doing, man. We're going to be flying. We're going to be running super fast, man. We're going to be doing all of that, man.
I got one for you, Ak.
Yep.
Just showing you that YAHAWASHI is actually going to use his men to execute vengeance, man, upon these heathen, man, and to establish the kingdom. It says, Jeremiah 51:20, it says, "Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war." It says, "For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms." It says, "And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider." So, hey, man, I believe Elder Malcolm had said it, that, the 144,000 are going to be like those heavenly super soldiers.
Yeah.
Like the bro had just said, man, these different superhero movies, Marvel, etc., the Avengers, so on and so forth, man. Where do you think they get this inspiration from?
I got one to back you up, brother.
Okay.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 3:7. It says, "In the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble." Meaning what? Running super fast, man. Hey, you ever seen, I know a lot of people around the world have seen this movie, man. Hey, The Flash. The Flash, running so fast that he can ultimately stop time, man. The Lord is going to make us run super fast, man, because we run in this body, man. You only can run for so long before getting tired, man. But when we run, when we get those spiritual powers, those new bodies, man, hey, we can run forever if we wanted to, man. And it says, like sparks among the stubble, they shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and the Lord shall reign forever. Right. That spiritual power, man, that dominion the Lord is going to give his men, man. The elect, the 144,000, the governing body, man. Hey, we're going to be ruling what? We're going to have those spiritual powers, and we're going to rule in righteousness. You got it up.
Yeah, I got Psalms 149.
Okay.
It says right here, I'll just start at verse 4. Psalms 149:4. It says, "For Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people." It says, "He will beautify the meek with salvation." Beautify the meek with salvation, man. Just, going into what we've been going into this whole lesson, man. The elect receiving those new bodies. It says, "Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds." And now here's getting to the point. Let the praises of the Most High power be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. It says, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So you got it, Ak.
Yep. Hey, the Lord is going to give us that power, man. And ultimately those new bodies, man, so we can never sin again, man. And like I was saying before, that's a part of the new covenant. Us being perfected, us not sinning anymore. And just to go into the new covenant, this is the book of Hebrews 8, and I'm gonna start at 6. It says, "But now have ye obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises." And who is that mediator, man? YAHAWASHI. It says, "For that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second, for finding fault with them," right? Finding fault with them, right? Talking about the Israelites, man. Because there was nothing wrong with the first covenant. It was us being in these corruptible bodies. I'm gonna continue. He said, "He said, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Well, I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, right, the northern and the southern kingdom, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. It says, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them into their hearts. Heart, goes into, law, which is your mind. It says, and I will be to them a God. It says that they shall be to me a people. Right? Meaning what? The Lord is going to program us, to keep the law, statutes, and commandments perfectly, man. We're not going to go off. And how is the Lord going to do that, man? Hey, we read it in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter. I read in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. How ultimately what? The Lord is going to give us those new bodies that's not going to sin, And it says, verse 11, it says, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. Meaning, we're all going to be obedient, man. We're not going to go off. Everybody's going to know YAHAWASHI, and we're going to keep the law, statutes, commandments perfectly, man. And that also comes with the new bodies, man. Us being what? 100% doing righteousness, You have something I buy you?
Did we get Isaiah 60?
I don't believe so.
Okay, this is Isaiah 60 and 20. It says, thy son shall no more, and this whole chapter, by the way, it's the title is A Glorified Zion.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that Zion is Tzayawan in the Hebrew, which means monument, because we're likened unto Yahweh Shemyahushai's monument, his special chosen people, man. But it says in verse 20, thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself, for Yahweh Shemyahushai shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. So we're going to have that perfect joy, man, perfect presence, Salaki, perfect understanding in the presence of Yahweh Shemyahushai. It says in verse 21, thy people also shall be all righteous. See, they shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. And that's going for all Israel, man. We pray to be part of the hopeful righteous elect, to make it on this time, man, this first go round, to be part of that number. But hey, at the end of the day, Yahweh Shemyahushai made the promise to the whole nation, man.
Yep.
It says all Israel shall be saved, and then just to finish it out, it says a little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. Yahweh Shemyahushai will hasten it in his time. So we're gonna repopulate the nation, man, repopulate the earth, as well as even the other planets as well. Eye has not seen, and ear has not heard. What Yahweh Shemyahushai has prepared for us, man.
That's right, brother. That's right. That was actually a perfect place to end it. I got to go back into captivity, but the plantation. But man, this is what the Lord is going to come back and bless us with, man. Starting with the elect. So we're going to end it off right there. Lord, when we hope this was edifying, I want to end up by giving all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone that taught us this truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. Lord, when we hope this lesson was edifying to next time, Kwam YASHARAHLA, Shalom, and Abba.
Kwam YASHARAHLA, Shalom, Baba, Shalom.